Come have fun with us and don't forget to subscribe.
What's up, everybody? I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna.
And welcome to our review of Naruto Shippuden episode 257 to 260. Anna,
Yes.
we've just went through short sequence of filler episodes. So once again, we've watched them by ourselves, and now we'll review them before we go back to reactions for the next episodes. This is your first time watching Naruto.
It is.
And so, like I do every time, I'm gonna ask you.
Ask me.
Did you enjoy these fillers?
Surprisingly, I did more than I thought I would. I mean, once I realized what they were. Because these fillers are basically just a flashback. But with some more elements added to them, right?
So it's weird calling them fillers because they're part of the story we've seen before, right?
Yeah.
It's not made up stuff. But, like you said, they add this element of like, oh, in that moment, we didn't know what Naruto was thinking, and now they're showing us.
Exactly.
Or vice versa, Sasuke. It's focused on Naruto and Sasuke and their journey.
Yeah, so that's what it is, right? It's the evolution of Naruto and Sasuke's...
up through their fight at the Valley of the End,
exactly.
at the end of part 1.
So the reason why I say I enjoyed it more than I thought I would once I realized it's basically just a flashback, is because I feel like now that I'm going back into the canon episodes, it adds something that I've been reminded of like you said, their journey so far. You know, it kind of puts a little bit into perspective things that I've seen also in recent episodes. Like, for example, that line of about Sasuke that Kakashi said, "How far you've fallen," or something like this. It resonates differently now, you know, because I've been reminded of where they started, you know. I also see Sasuke a little bit more like a tragic character than I did before, because I feel like, sure, you know, he has a sad story and all of that, but also he's made a lot of choices.
Yeah, and recently the focus was on those choices.
Exactly. Yeah. It was on his choices to do what he's doing. But then, you know, I'm seeing again those episodes, and I think it's interesting that from the beginning he was saying, "Oh, I'm an Avenger." An Avenger, exactly. Like, it's almost like that darkness was always within him, and it's just all of these circumstances that led to him just like exploring that darkness.
Yeah. I think what's interesting in those fillers, because, you know, a lot of it is through both of them, their perspective, Naruto and Sasuke. And in a way, it feels like if they would just talk, things wouldn't have went so badly. Right? Because they are kind of feeling inferior
to each other. Yeah.
And never really talk about it. They just, you know, put up this front of like, no, I'm better than you, you know. Because Naruto wants to be recognized by Sasuke, and Sasuke doesn't want to acknowledge that Naruto's growing.
He's getting stronger. Yeah.
And so, like, it's interesting to see it, like, just laid out in front of us like this. Especially that scene on the rooftop where they're fighting, and they add these thoughts that weren't there originally, of like, you know, Naruto thinking like that he's not good enough against Sasuke, and then Sasuke thinking he's not good enough against Naruto.
But meanwhile, they're saying the opposite, pretty much the opposite of what they're actually thinking or feeling. And I thought that's also very interesting, because even though we didn't have those elements of like hearing what they were thinking, I remember feeling that way when we were watching Naruto, when we were watching those episodes of just talk to each other, for God's sake. I remember I had that feeling, but then I think we even talked about it. But now it's like, it's reinforced, right?
Yeah. And it makes the whole thing more sad, really, you know, that it had to go the way it did. One other thing that I also often ask you with these fillers is about the timing of it, right? Do you feel like this was a well-placed filler, not arc, it's just 4 episodes, but like well-placed, you know, filler episodes? Or do you feel like it cut off the momentum that you had? We were going into war, you know, at the end of last episode.
I think if it had been longer, it would have been badly placed, considering it's only 4 episodes, and considering what it seems to me like this filler is trying to do, this filler series is trying to do, which is to remind us of, you know, where these two characters have started off. I think it's well placed because I think, and I don't know that because I haven't seen it, but like I think it will have an impact in what's following, like the next episodes. So in that sense, I think it's well placed. Like I said, if it was longer, it would have been more annoying.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that momentum is lost after just 4 episodes. And you know, now I'm gonna get back into it, and it's still, the emotion is still there. So.
And you're right, it's just 4 episodes, you know, you're in, you're out, and they're not, you know, outrageous or boring to watch like some fillers sometimes are. This is actually stuff that we've seen before, and it's nice to get a refresh on all these elements.
And I think one thing that's it's interesting and really well done, in my opinion, is that I like other fillers that we've seen before where, you know, some characters are ridiculous,
acting out of character.
Exactly, that's what I was going for. This doesn't change the characters at all. You know, even though it adds to scenes that we had already seen, that we're already familiar with, it doesn't change the characters or those scenes at all.
The elements that they add make sense, you know?
Exactly. They're in line with what we have come to understand or to learn about our characters so far. So I think it's really well done. Yeah.
So yeah, I would say like these were good fillers.
Yeah.
And if someone is wondering whether or not they should watch it, I would say, you know, go ahead, watch it. And if you don't, I mean, it's not that big of a deal because it's stuff that we've already seen also. But it's not a waste of time. I thought it was an interesting, you know, reminder.
Right.
And we shall see if that reminder comes into play as we react to more episodes of Naruto Shippuden. If you guys want to be there for those reactions, we invite you to
subscribe to this channel. The button is down below.
Like this video if you did. Comment in the comment section below and
have a nice day.